In today's video, I'm going to show you how you subconsciously show a woman weakness and how 99% of men don't even realize that they're actually doing this. Okay, this is super important because the biggest thing that I notice is that even men who are considered modern day quote unquote high value do all of these things wrong. And not only do they do all of these things wrong, but they make all of these mistakes. So I personally believe after drafting this out on the whiteboard today, I think this is some of my best work. I think this is probably going to be one of the best videos I've ever made, and I'm super excited to present this to you. Now, as we dive in, today's MBT Celeb Spotlight is from Aaron. He goes, Casey, I simply do not have the words in a text to tell you how I just had the best night of my life. I've been with a lot of women in my days, but never have I ever experienced anything close to what I did last night. It was our first date at my place. Neither of us slept all night, and he puts a winky face to me. See, this is why I created MBT, is so guys can have amazing experiences just like that. So after this video is over today, I want you to be sure to go down below into the description. I made a whole presentation to show you MBT, masculine behavioral techniques, so that way you can get results just like this too. Okay, let's dive in. Behind me on this whiteboard today is all of the ways that men subconsciously show a woman weakness. These are the things that are killing your relationships. These are the things that are killing your interactions with women, and modern day high value men also have these wrong. Even the men who are quote unquote sleeping with a lot of women, what you're going to see is that these things destroy your masculinity in due time. So if you can actually spot this for what it is, you're going to have a far better dating life, far better relationship life, and you're actually going to have success in the real world, okay? The very first thing that a high value man never does, and not to mention the very first way that majority of men show a woman weakness in the long term that chips away at your masculine frame, is by making materialism your god. Okay? Read this with me. Okay, right here, read this with me. A man who refuses to submit himself to God will naturally make the things of this world what he worships by default, meaning you don't have a choice. Okay? What you focus on day to day in life is what you get. And naturally, the things that you focus on and desire so much, when it makes you a needy individual, you need these things so bad of the world, what's going to happen is you will naturally worship these things by default. So, look at this. A high value man, okay, will feel no need to ever, and I mean ever, in a million years, I don't care what social media app, I don't care what Instagram, I don't care. A high value man truly will never ever feel the need to flaunt toys, to flaunt watches, to flaunt a specific lifestyle, okay? This is approval-seeking behavior. This in and of itself is feminine. Men who are seeking approval and seeking the ability to have social status of their own lifestyle in the eyes of others to attract some sort of woman or to be respected by other men are fundamentally weak, because instead of just living that lifestyle that they so-called maybe enjoy or think that they enjoy, if they truly enjoyed it and if it's what they truly wanted to do, they would just live it instead of constantly needing to flaunt it. Therefore, these are the things that will make you weak. So what you can see when you think about this at a deep level, stay with me on this, a deep level, men who act this way, what this boils down to is deep-rooted insecurity. There's a constant and a consistent need to prove themselves to the world, which naturally makes them feel inadequate by default. And you know that this is true because you can feel it on an internal level. Not to mention, these people have an impoverished identity. Impoverished identity meaning who they are and what they see in the mirror is slightly distorted or destructed. Therefore, their lack thereof, they feel the need to make up for that. This is not good. This 100% can get you short-term sex with modern day-to-day women acting this way who are just as lost in the real world as these guys are lost themselves. Everybody's lost. Majority of the women today are lost. Majority of the men today are lost. That's just how the world is. Here's what I can tell you though. Despite this being able to get you some short-term sex, long-term this is a nightmare for your masculine frame. These things right here make you a weaker individual. This does not make you a strong individual. You will go to bed at night eventually not feeling good about yourself if this is what you do. So making materialism your god is a recipe for disaster. What's number two? Okay, number two is going to go against every single pickup, manosphere, red pill video you've ever seen, and I don't care because with my own experience after dating women, after being in the real world, not just this fake YouTube type on a keyboard world, the real world, okay? The second way that you show a woman weakness is by always initiating sex, and especially if this is a woman that you're consistently seeing, and I will explain why. When you're always initiating sex, okay, this stems into weakness of the flesh, and weakness of the flesh is the fastest way to show a woman that you have no self-control and you have no masculine frame. If you want to know the quickest way to have a woman lose respect for you and not to trust you, especially when you go out in the real world and you're probably interacting day to day in your job or in your work life and there's other women passing you by, the fastest way to make her not like you or not respect you is to show that you have no self-control for your own sexual appetite. This right here is a big mistake that all men make. Okay, you are supposed to be the rational, level-headed one. Yet we have a majority of men who are even quote-unquote high value, or so they like to say, that are running around like 16-year-old boys. And this isn't good. So majority of men don't have sex for true chemistry and connection with the girl at the forefront. This is very important. There's a big defining line between you having sex for yourself just to prove that you can get it and actually having sex because you have real chemistry, a real connection with the girl, with the woman, okay? Potentially a woman that you want to be with, potentially the woman that you want to have your kids one day, like a real woman that you genuinely love and enjoy. And on top of that, you're man enough to not look at that as showing weakness, okay? Majority of men do not have sex to have the true chemistry and the connection with the girl at the forefront. What they're doing is it's rooted in ego, okay? It's to prove to themselves that she'll sleep with you, okay? And if it's in a long-term relationship, an LTR, what I've seen time and time again is that it's to prove to himself that he can still get her in the mood and pull. So here's what you got to understand. If you fit this category in any way, shape, or form with the women that you're currently seeing or your current relationship or whatever, here's what you need to know. I don't care what anybody tells you. Sex makes men weak. I don't care if you're 6'8", okay, and you weigh 260 pounds and are a billionaire. Sex in general makes men weak. It makes men needy. It makes men emotional, oftentimes just as emotional as women. Okay, it makes you less grounded in your strength and in your masculine frame. And it is the most potent addiction on planet Earth. But yet we don't talk about this. See, these are the things all of us know deep down in our heart of hearts, but we refuse to talk about it. We refuse to say it. This is not good. So I have a little quote down here, okay? Majority of these guys on the internet are still in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, still talking about how to sleep with girls or sleep with women, and this is completely laughable. If this is what you're focused on as a man, your priorities are not in the right area. Okay, this is the second way you will show a woman weakness. She's probably not going to be able to articulate it like this and draw it out on a board like I did for you, but you got to understand right here that like this is what she's going to be thinking. Point blank, period. That's number 2. Number 3. Any form, and I mean any form on planet Earth, of negative self-talk. The only thing that should ever be radiating out of your mouth is 100% ridiculous self-confidence and positivity. And not self-confidence just because you think that you have some sort of bravado or fake swag, but I'm talking about positivity for a specific reason, okay? Never under any circumstances say anything negative about yourself or your self-image because it makes you powerless and it's pointless. It doesn't serve you. So in one of the books I read, some of my favorite books is like actually the books that like 50 Cent, the rapper, was with Robert Greene, or the book he wrote himself, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. I can't remember if this quote was in the 50th Law or if this was in Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. But he has this quote and he says, turn shit into sugar. Every single situation that you have on yourself or that you've reflected to yourself that you think is a negative in life circumstance, you can twist that and bend that and make it a positive and grow from that experience. But it all stems with your own perception. Well, you might be wondering, well, hey, how do you change your perception? I'm going to show you. Your words literally craft your entire masculine reality. Think about that. I don't care if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. I don't care if you want to pull the girlfriend or the wife of your dreams. I don't care if you want to have an amazing family. Your words and what you believe in crafts your reality, and I'm going to show you why. The first thing that stems into your reality is your thoughts. Okay, this is number 1. What you think about is what your brain looks for and what you focus on. If you hear about your reticular activation system, okay, your what would that be? RAS, reticular activation. I think R, if you want to abbreviate your reticular activation system. Okay, it's like if you drive a Dodge Ram pickup, you buy brand new, all of a sudden you see Dodge Ram pickups all over the city that you're in. It's because you're focusing on that. So it starts with your thoughts. Okay, well, your thoughts stem into what you say. You can't say anything without thinking it first. Your brain dictates the movement that comes out of your mouth. The second is your words. Your thoughts dictate your words. Your words, then, what you're focusing on and what you're saying is going to dictate your actions and the movements that you're making in your life path. So that's number 3. And your actions in your life path now actually crafts your reality in real time. This is how you create a life for yourself. You choose if this is a positive life for yourself or you choose if this is a negative life for yourself. Do you understand how powerful this is? That is why in no way, shape, or form is it beneficial in any way, shape, or form to ever say anything negative. It's pointless and it doesn't serve you in any way, shape, or form. When you live this way, what you come to realize is this: anything successful or positive in your life literally starts with a thought. It started with you thinking about it, then saying it, then doing it, and living life with pure intent. See, this is the difference between a man on his purpose and a man not on his purpose, is when you can actually live with pure intent, you can spot these things. So women bank their confidence, okay, in you based on your mood and vibe, which influences their emotions. If you have a negative, impoverished identity, if you have a bad mood, if you have negative self-talk, this 100% affects her perception of you, and this 100% is going to make her look at you as a weaker man. In no way, shape, or form is it beneficial for you to ever say anything negative. That is number 3. Number 4. The fourth thing, once again, is going to go against the typical online YouTube dating advice sort of talk. Needing to have the power in the relationship 24/7. This is going to make you a weaker man, and I will explain why. In the long term, every girl on planet Earth knows that men do this purely out of fear. They do this purely out of insecurity. They do this out of wanting to feel more than the girl. And what this is rooted in deep fear. Now, this could be fear of anything. This could be fear of the man getting cheated on, so he thinks he needs more control. This could be fear of the girl leaving him. This could be fear of him feeling inadequate in the real world against other men. It doesn't matter what it is, but when a woman sees that you're constantly using tactics to manipulate the entire reality like this, this is rooted in fear. Okay, a secure man who is rooted in strength will never feel the need to do any of these things I'm about to show you. He will never feel the need to use tactics to make the woman's head spin for absolutely no reason. He will never need so much control because they are scared to lose it. Not to mention, a man who is rooted in strength will never in a million years feel the need to break a woman's spirit or make her feel terrible for no reason. Yet this is what you see that majority of guys who are into pickup and majority of guys who are dating lots of women do, is they put up this like, it's like a shield of armor. So they think that if they do these things, then the girl can't hurt them. When in reality, this makes you a weaker man. This does not, no, like, you gotta understand though, when you're able to actually have stability with a woman and look at yourself as a confident man and actually put yourself out there and potentially even love that woman, this does not make you a beta. This literally doesn't make you weak. And this doesn't mean that you put a woman on the pedestal. It just means that you're level-headed and actually rooted in who you are as a man, and you feel that you are enough as is without the need to consistently prove yourself and use all of this fake bullshit. This is not good. Which brings me to point number 5, because these are extremely interlinked and connected. And this is the most important of all. The 5th thing that will make it so you naturally show a woman weakness without you even realizing that you're doing it, which is something you don't want to do, is refusing to show her love in any way, shape, or form. Refusing to love her and show it is the 5th way that you will naturally show a woman weakness, and this is something that you will not learn until you've dated a girl probably for 6 months to a year or even longer, and you will see how damaging this is, not only to them, but to yourself, and how weak of a man you become. The first thing you have to understand is women aren't dumb. A woman knows 100% if you're seeing her regularly, okay, if you're sleeping with her, if you go on dates with her and invest time and energy and money and like good vibes and mood into the woman, she knows, like, she's not stupid. She knows you like her. She knows you probably even love her. That's okay. But refusing to show love to a woman as a man will make you seem immature, like you play games, and it's a breeding ground for toxicity, and I'm going to explain why. You become a man when you can finally and fully love a woman fully and know that if she chooses to leave you, it won't break you. Read that one more time. You become a man when you can love a woman fully and know that if she chooses to leave you, it won't break you. See, what this means is it's better to love a girl, okay, and risk it than to never love at all and to never actually experience what that true chemistry and that true connection with that woman is like. But the key is this point right here. You become a man when you can love a woman and it won't break you if things go south. Because you can wake up and you can say, hey, you know what? I'm still a masculine man. I still have skills. I still have purpose. I still have vision. I'll live in the same house. I'll drive the same car. I'll meet another amazing girl. And you know what? I'm not going to live in fear and not actually enjoy the full human experience of life that will include love. I'm not going to suppress that just to put up a shield of armor to say to myself, oh, you know what, I'm not going to risk it in the first place because I'm scared to get walked on. That is not the way to live. You become a man when you can love a woman fully and know that if she chooses to leave you, it's not going to break you. And this stems from you looking at life in a positive format with point number 3, and have true abundance. True abundance with your finances, true abundance with your mentality, true abundance with the skills and opportunities that you can create. It all starts up here, your thoughts. Now, this is why it's so drastically important once again. If you're in a relationship with a woman in any way, shape, or form, when you look at sex like these, like when you're looking at sex as something to get from her instead of something to connect with, this makes you so needy. There's a very big difference between having sex to prove to yourself you can get it, or to just look at it as another notch on your belt with some random girl you just met, versus actually loving a woman and having true connection and true chemistry. And I truly believe that you can never have the true masculine experience as a man until you encompass all of these things. And if I was able to see through this at 27, you really should look at your life and audit and be like, if you're looking at guys who are in their 40s, 50s, or 60s, and they're still doing all of this crap in reverse to prove to themselves that they're an attractive man, you have to see just how deep this goes when it comes to the ego and the insecurity of the modern man. You 100% can love a woman fully, and you know that you are enough to where if things would go south, that is not going to break you. These are the 5 ways that you show a woman weakness. Chances are you won't find this on any other YouTube channel, and if you do, you send it my way in the comments if you find someone with a similar message. But rest assured, from my own dating experience over the past 10 years, these are the fastest ways to turn a woman off, especially in the long term, which means I don't want you to ever make these mistakes. If you like the video, hit the like button. Go down below and check out the MBT webinar, since I put together a free 2-hour behind the scenes presentation for you. It's going to totally change your life. We'll see you in the next one.